mean, do you think that triggers the Red Hulk transformation, or like why do you think he's like attacking? Is that a sleeper agent type thing?
I think there's gonna be attacks coming from different groups of people
yeah.
on the president, or there's a bunch of attacks going on in general, and Isaiah Bradley's just one faction.
Welcome back to the break room with Agatha all along out on Monday and a Captain America Brave New World trailer today. That's 2 Marvel trailers in 1 week. What is this, Christmas in July?
I didn't know you were gonna give it to us twice. I thought the first time I thought we were over with it.
Hey, it's the break room trailer trawl graphic incoming in post.
I was gonna say, I didn't know I had to get that loaded.
I'm
like, fuck me.
You stressed him out, you stressed my boy out.
All right, we'll keep it all in. I'm Evan, and joining me today to talk about this new trailer, fresh off the success of the Not Like Us breakdown, is Jessica Clemons.
Success? Meh.
What? It's doing so well.
It's doing very well. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited to be here. Very excited to be here. I'm a new person after that Not Like Us video. I've become... I've never been... Were you silent? Were you silent? Damn, I don't know if y'all hear Hank coughing out. He hated the video. He hated the new Not Like Us video. That's because he's Team Drake.
He is white. My white little dog.
Yeah, the little Canadian dog over here.
Oh, God.
No, but I'm very excited. That trailer, I feel bad. We all were expecting it to come last night because of, I guess, a reporter like alleged that it would be coming out yesterday.
A lot of people, a lot of scoopers were like doubling down, like, oh, it's actually coming out on Thursday.
Why did we think that? Why did they think that?
I don't know. I guess the ESPYs were last night. It's an ESPN sports kind of award show. But people thought it'd be in the morning too, and
I mean, the people that thought it was in the morning were completely accurate because it was fresh at like what 7 a.m. our time.
Our time, yeah, today though, but not yesterday.
No, yeah, not yesterday.
We were all kind of waiting around, and we're like, I guess we're just pack it up.
Let's go. Yeah, I guess it's a good night. See you guys early Friday, early weekend, and psych.
So we'll watch the trailer with you all, and then we'll talk about some of the interesting things, and then we're gonna go to our live Twitch chat with some questions, because there's a lot in this trailer, and I'm
100%.
pretty intrigued. All right, why don't we play the trailer?
We'll show the world a better way forward.
Red Hulk.
Wow.
That's enticing.
Yeah, I can't believe the McDonald's toy leaks were right. The Red Hulk in the movie the whole time.
It feels weird. Not the trailer. Just there's so many leaks. It took so long, so a lot of us already knew what was coming. And I feel bad that was the reveal in the trailer when I think the real reveal was the leader. That scene with the leader was way more crazier for me than seeing Red Hulk.
Yeah, did you all catch the leader pop up? We got the back of his head. I think we have a picture of that as well. He's got a little fedora on. At first, I thought it was Deadpool because of the jacket.
Why?
I think he's bald and like that green jacket.
He looks like the Mask. Jim Carrey's the Mask. He has that green head.
Yeah.
But also, you can also hear, what's that actor's name again?
Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah,
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah.
You can hear the Tim Blake Nelson kind of Southern voice when using it, and I love his voice. He's so good. He reminds me so much of Walter Goggins. That I'm like, he makes characters. He's playing a character, but that character is him. Yeah. So him playing the leader is already very fun.
Yeah. I also like that we were just talking about this while we're watching it, but like a lot of like Captain America Civil War vibes, also kind of like
100%.
Winter Soldier vibes too. It feels like a lot more of this is like, I really like the way all the stuff in the White House is shot. Even that scene where Harrison Ford is like giving off some like presentation, that like looks really cool.
Yeah. It also is and I might be wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. It feels like the first time in the MCU where we saw the president actually involved. Coming in with the boys, coming in with our actual political agenda. With our actual political
climate.
Political climate.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, this is... I personally, I'm getting politicaled out. I don't know if that's the right word for it. But it's also like... Because the boys is kind of doing the same thing. It's like, oh, our president is scheming.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And also seeing the Deadpool trailer, I was like, ooh, this is violent. And then going to this, I'm like, ooh, we're going to political scheming.
Yeah, I'm curious like what the level of balance is going to be, and like there's so many things that I think we've heard a lot about the footage, but we don't really know what the plot is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's read the synopsis and then we'll get into some questions. Okay. So after meeting with newly elected U.S. President Thaddeus Ross, played by Harrison Ford, in his Marvel Cinematic Universe debut, Sam finds himself in the middle of an international incident. He must discover the reason behind a nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has the entire world seeing red. Okay. Seeing red.
Turning red.
Turning red.
He turns into a panda.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So, of course, let's talk about Red Hulk, right?
Yeah.
How do we think Thunderbolt Ross becomes Red Hulk in the movie?
I think he's been, we kind of talked about this behind the scenes. I think he's been curating and waiting for this. He's been using this as a backup, which would give way to why Brave New World is staying grounded in that world, while Secret Invasion stayed grounded for the Skrulls. I'm like, okay, so these are focusing on trying to administer, like, make a new Hulk serum. We talked about how like they made the Hulk serum because they wanted to recreate the Super Soldier serum, basically. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, but I think they're now realizing that a Hulk serum is more accessible than the Super Soldier serum is. And also the Super Soldier serum has weird effects. I mean, so does the Hulk one, but you'll get a secret, whatever Bucky was and what Elijah looks like he's also going to be. Or Isaiah Bradley.
Oh, like a sleeper agent.
Yeah, you get sleeper agents with Super Soldier serum. So I think this is the world now that they're like, we need the Hulk serum just in case. Just in case. And he's been creating it with the leader. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And I think that's why he's going to take it at the end, is to be like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Do you think the leader is maybe like a public kind of like advisor to Thunderbolt Ross, or like is he like hiding in the shadows?
I think he's like, what's that joke? Deep Throat? No. You know what I'm talking about? The guy that's in the shadows that has like, that will come in with the deep voice.
Come in with the deep throat?
You know what I'm talking?
Deep Throat was
a
source during the Nixon administration.
Yeah, okay, so you get it. You are a pervert. John gets me.
Yeah.
Never my life
Berg
is
says,
John.
Berg also agrees.
Okay, thank you.
Deep Throat.
I think he's going to be like that, which is going to be really nice. But it sucks because I kind of wanted the leader to create his own team and be really big like he was in the comics. But it also is better for the leader to be under wraps. He's a giant green-headed man walking around, so maybe he should stay in the shadows and just be the Deep Throat.
Yeah. Well, I think Crazy Lizard 503 in the chat asking, do you think they will kill the leader after bringing him back all these years? Do you think this is a situation where they kind of like MODOK the villain?
I hope not. That's just out of hopefulness, though. Because clearly in Quantumania, I was like, don't kill MODOK, and they did. Yeah. So it's like, I could pray and be like, please don't kill the leader, and they could still do it. The leader is such a fun villain to have, and I'm kind of getting tired of the MCU taking really cool villains from comics and just immediately offing them. I'm like, let this one stay. Let this one hover around. Let him be the grounded mole, which would make sense. And then maybe eventually a year or two down the line, he'll make his own team. Because he could still affect Daredevil, and he could still affect Kingpin. And I'm like, let that play in. Let that seep in. This is a good villain to have.
Yeah. I agree. I think there's a lot of possibilities with him. And I also think, like, obviously, you know, we're getting Red Hulk. Do we think we see Mark Ruffalo in this as Bruce Banner? Do we think we see She-Hulk in this?
It'd be kind of rude for Hulk not to show up, right? But then I guess it's kind of like what, like, adjacent races to be like, Hulk, get in here, fight him! And it's like, why should I fight him? Why can't it be one of you two? I have a son to raise. You go do it.
That's true. Oh yeah, do we see Scar in this?
I hope. That'd be fun. That's the thing, is there's so many people already brought into Brave New World, even new characters. Right. It's gonna be I think you should bring in one person to remind us, but I also am like, there's too many things. There's too many moving hands already. Yeah. Maybe inviting the Hulk to fight Red Hulk will be too much. But not saying that I don't want it. Clearly, I want She-Hulk or the Hulk or Scar to go fight the Red Hulk. Yeah. Why wouldn't I? Or the leader, because he has it.
But does it? Yeah, because having too many people, that would maybe detract from it being like, you know, Sam Wilson's story
100%.
as Captain America, right? It's almost in a weird way. If you said Civil War vibes, like Civil War became like basically a second Avengers, or a fourth Avengers movie,
it was.
third in that time,
And I think I think from the trailer alone, where they're trying to still make it prominent, like the problem is that no one sees Steve Rogers in the Captain America role anymore. He has that line where he's like, "You might be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers." I was like, hit him. I was like, hit him. It's Harrison Ford. Like, you can beat him up. Hit him right now. Slap him across the face. But we get that line, and so I'm like, oh, he still has that kind of internal battle of, like, I'm not Steve Rogers. And I'm like, okay, so if he's still having that battle, how are we going to make this movie about him still?
Right.
Don't make it about the battles of him not being America enough for the Captain America role. Make this about Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
And so I think adding more people in that will take it away from it being Sam Wilson.
Right. He's kind of just like overseeing this kind of thing. Yeah, and I think a really important part of Sam Wilson as a character is like his dedication to the country, right? But also like his dedication to like taking on the mantle of Captain America, and that kind of like distinction is very important to keep.
100%. It needs to be distinct. It's kind of hard, also, I will say, in writing to take a character that has been like the side, like your sidekick, and then to put him in the front. Yeah. And then put him in the role. That's like taking Happy and putting him in the Iron Man suit. Like, it's gonna be kind of hard to like make a story about that. So it's like they already have a lot thrown at them. Please don't make it harder for Anthony Mackie.
100%. I wanted to talk about the scene where Isaiah Bradley, we see him return, Carl Lumbly return as Isaiah Bradley in this. Yeah. And he attacks Thunderbolt Ross. We have a picture, I think, of him with a gun shooting through one of like those projections, I guess, which is like, oh, it must have been a screen the whole time, which is like cool. It's not just projections. That's pretty wild. I mean, do you think that triggers the Red Hulk transformation, or like why do you think he's like attacking? Is that a sleeper agent type thing?
I think he's a sleeper agent. There's someone setting off that code to awaken him to do that, which I'm so mad about, because I loved he was the best part. Yeah, he was the really best part, and to know that he's like attacking the president and will probably die in the process or disappear is really sad to know. But I'm sure someone's giving him that code. We kind of talked about it, and stop me if this is jumping the gun. We talked about it a little bit. I think there's going to be attacks coming from different groups of people on the president, or there's a bunch of attacks going on in general, and Isaiah Bradley's just one faction. I think Giancarlo Esposito's character is going to be a different faction. So I'm like, he's a one-man army. But for who?
Yeah, exactly. Because we can talk about Giancarlo Esposito now. If you haven't been following, there he is, blowing up a house in the background, or a farm or something.
The amount of like senior citizens in this movie is intense, and I love it. Yeah. The fact that, first off, Isaiah Bradley, I mean, is probably a stunt double, but he is jumping through a window. He runs full sprint, and like jumps out a window. I couldn't even do that. But then I was like, Giancarlo Esposito's over here. I haven't seen Harrison Ford run once, but I'm like, there's a lot of old people in this. Go off.
Yeah, so if you haven't been following along with like the news, this movie has undergone like a series of reshoots and additional shooting, and Giancarlo Esposito allegedly has been added in this latest round of reshoots. He's kind of heavily, featured in this trailer. Do you think that he's going to be playing a big part in the movie, or do you think that they're just like, let's put his face on and like let's maybe draw focus away from the Leader or from Red Hulk or something else?
That's interesting, and that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little odd, right? Because it does seem like with this, with the movie and adding kind of like maybe a late stage villain to a round of reshoots, it's like, how do you start moving the rest of the movie around, adding him in there? Yeah.
Eric theorized for Madam Web that a lot of the shots with, I can't remember her name, the woman from Girls that's the computer finding
Shoshana from Girls.
Yeah. Finding the people on the like CCTV footage. He theorized that was pickup scenes. And that's okay to be a pickup scene because it doesn't really interact with anyone else except for the villain. But here, I'm like, he's outside destroying things. How are you guys just doing pickups without people interacting with him? Unless he's a hired hand.
Yeah.
And we're just seeing the hired hand part. But you can't waste Giancarlo Esposito without lines.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to have big lines.
Yeah. I think when he was teasing his role about being cast in the MCU, he's like, yeah, it's going to be set up in a movie, and then it's going to get a series, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people were thinking initially, they're like, oh, is this going to be the poorly named character Bushman, who has a link to Moon Knight? But now a lot of people on the internet, popular rumor scoopers, are saying that he could be G.W. Bridge, who has connections with Cable and the Punisher, but also is kind of like a sometimes SHIELD agent. It could be that they're like setting him up to be like a first act villain, just to be like, look, he can. Captain America's taking care of business, and then Giancarlo Esposito goes like, "I'll get you again one day."
They're serving G.I. Joe realness. That's it. Yeah, a piece of me is like, you can't waste Giancarlo Esposito, right?
Yeah.
But then another piece of me is like, Giancarlo Esposito is working 24/7. He's probably like, I can only do this for like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So there is a possibility for that.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta be Stan Edgar. I gotta come back to life in The Mandalorian.
Is there? Oh God, that poor man. He is on, and Disney's got him on a payroll. Like, he's literally on like 5 shows. Is there? What would the audience want more? The GW Bridge, or would they want Bushman?
Okay, let's put it to a poll.
Also, is there a world in which it's not either of them?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because I'm also like, I could see them just making a different character, because Bushman. Yeah, weird character.
Bad name.
Bad name. But that character in the comics is very fun with Moon Knight, intertwined with Moon Knight.
Right.
And it still is aligned with what we're seeing Giancarlo Esposito do in the movie. So I'm like, if you do make that character, we can just tie that to Moon Knight. And Moon Knight was very successful. It's very fun. So I'm like, why not do that? But then they could also just be like, this is just a random guy.
Yeah,
this is a random guy. Do we know who wrote? Let me look at this. Who wrote New World?
Yeah, let's look it up. Also, a lot of people in the chat have been asking about like characters we might see and some cameos. I think HBasso13 and Sarah Hatchadorian were asking if we see Isaiah Bradley's grandson in this.
Yeah, I hope.
It'd be cool. If he shows up towards the end of the film, maybe to kind of like take on the mantle of something.
I think that would probably be what'd you say?
He's Patriot, right?
Patriot. Yeah, yeah.
I think that would be something at the very end.
Yeah.
Like mid-credit scene of like, I have to avenge my grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be so bad. I'm gonna be so mad if Isaiah Bradley dies.
Yeah.
It makes sense for him. Like, he was a sad character. Like, that character went through everything in the world, and then to appear and then have to be a sleeper agent. I'm also assuming he's a sleeper agent. Like, I genuinely am just assuming like he wouldn't do that. This old man was just living alone, or like with his grandson, was just like happy to be like, I don't want to ever be involved with y'all again because you abused me. I hate y'all.
Yeah.
And then to see him immediately start shooting the president, I'm like, now you're involved again. So that's why I assume he's a sleeper agent.
Yeah, so there's something probably in some like programming or something that's hidden.
Is there a world in which maybe he isn't programmed and he hates Thunderbolt Ross? Like,
he's like, you know what? That's a bad plan.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Pulls out this gun, and then that scene is gonna be so atrocious because it's gonna be Anthony Mackie being like, Isaiah, no, and Isaiah's gonna be like, I can't stop. Please. That would be me. Please. And then sprint, jump out of a window.
Yeah.
That poor old man. There's a lot of old people in this. I'm excited.
This one's for the olds.
That's such a better joke than the shit that you wrote.
Yeah, it is. It's for the olds. Also, you know that like the early bird special at the AMC's and the Cinemarks, those old people are
partnering with Denny.
I can't get a ticket to the 11:30 a.m. showing on a Saturday.
I'm just saying right now is my mom, and my mom hasn't reached the senior citizen like age yet, but she feels like she has, and she should be giving the discounts. And sometimes they'll be like, "Can I see your ID?" And my mom's like, "No. I am well above the age," and that's my mom. And my mom loves Giancarlo Esposito. She'll absolutely go see this.
All right. Before we get to some Twitch questions and some shout outs, there's a lot of stuff. I do want to talk about, we see a little bit of Tiamat in the ocean.
They love bringing.
We finally get it. And we also get we get a little bit of the hand or the head. Who knows what part it is? The kneecap. I don't know. But we also get a flash frame too of Joaquin Torres as the Falcon. The two of them kind of flying together. I'm so interested in how this is going to factor into the overall like story. Oh, there they are. Look at them. Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather. That was my Billie Eilish version, but it didn't go out the same way. Also, wait, go back to that image. I want to pull up that image.
God fucking damn it. There's a lot of shit going on back here.
I get it. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize it. That's on me. See, I'm taking accountability.
We're taking accountability.
Okay, even though it kind of was drawn at all, but whatever. Yeah, what's on is everyone just like taking chunks of Tiamat? Do you think that Tiamat is, because Eric theorized this, I don't know if, I'm sure everybody also has talked about this at one point, how there might be adamantium.
That's right. Yeah, on Tiamat. Yeah, I think
Ant-Man-a-mania?
Ant-Man Mania?
Ant-Man Quantumania?
Jeff Loveness was right. I love you, Jeff.
Jeff Loveness is on Tiamat just waving like, I'm here, guys.
Everyone's like, get him off that goddamn Get him off
the original script. You want it?
I would eat that script up, and I'd be like, you guys, they betrayed Jeff Loveness. They went back on every word he said. Okay, but no, do you think, I want to know what is on Tiamat that's so important that also coincides with what the Hulk serum might be.
Yeah, maybe it's something that can they use the material, the Celestial, to kind of like straighten out the serum to make it not like, you're like...
You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna be? They actually, that bunker that they were doing that meeting is actually inside Tiamat. They just made Tiamat into a home base, which will piss me off. I'll be like, y'all better start, because it's also evil layer coded. Let's be real. Like, 100%. It's a half-dead Celestial, like, in the middle of the ocean.
All the eye holes are just where the nukes are.
100%. I think Austin Powers made a bit of this. Wasn't one of the layers Mr. Evil in the ocean? I don't fucking know. Regardless, if they do that, I'll be irritated. But because it does seem like they're flying to it. It doesn't feel like it's like that big of an emergency. It's like, we're just gonna fly to the middle of the ocean.
Oh yeah, fly. Yeah, like as if they're protecting it, like, and that Sam and Joaquin have to go to it, and someone is protecting the island from them going into there.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like there's anyone else on the ocean.
Yeah.
This could also be just a scene that's like, look at two birds fly over the bay.
They're so pretty. Look at the birds.
Look at the birds. Oh, shit. Oh, is that Falcon?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh, shit.
All right, so some Twitch shout-outs I want to get to. Graveyard Pod at night, thank you for resubbing. And Team Addo, thank you for resubbing as well. Null and Void resubbing, watching on their Xbox, using the Xbox Twitch app and saying it's trash. Hey.
I was about to say, in the middle of you saying that, I was like, do not give us these weird ads for Xbox. And then you said it's trash. I went, okay.
All right. Sarah Hatch joined and a few other people. I just saw somebody, GSU Eagle. Do you think we see Sharon Carter in this Power Broker?
Do we see the Power Broker?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, because also, let's keep it real. She's just a point of information at this point.
Yeah,
like, so true. It would make sense that it's like, I got a guy that I can ask. Yeah. And then it's the Power Broker.
He goes back to her,
Which would make sense. And I would like to see her return more. And I would love it to return to the degree of like, she's just good. She's great for information, and she's helping always Sam Wilson.
Yeah, she could also be like leaking whatever they're doing with Tiamat. She could be like, hey, there's this big thing in the ocean. I don't know if you heard about it, but they're doing some sneaky stuff there.
Mm-hmm. That would also make sense that she would know, and she's like, we've been trying to get a chunk of that stone for ages, but it's under lockdown.
It's under lockdown. Do we see anything about Secret Invasion? Ask H Basso 13.
Well, we got to hear about my favorite. I will say, my favorite part of Secret Invasion is when Samuel Jackson goes and talks to him in the bar, and he's like, we're brothers, we're supposed to be together. And he's like, brothers? We're not brothers? And I was like, yeah, you guys and Anthony Mackie are the only three like black men now. You guys better talk. And I wonder if there is going to be a conversation that's like, did you hear about our boy being a Skrull? Because it was intertwined with what was going on in the White House. Like, they were literally coming for people in the White House. Yeah. So they have to have at least one mention of the fact. Yeah. They have to mention in the, like, there has to be complete security service detail now because Skrulls exist.
Right. They redo the scene from Captain America: The Winter Soldier with Don Cheadle and Anthony Mackie, but they're like, hey, you're not a Skrull. Are you a Skrull? just want to be. Just going to do the same moment again.
That was my favorite part of Secret Invasion. He's like, we're brothers. And he went, brothers? He said, who's we? Also, you're no sibling of mine because the Skrull doesn't know what brothers mean. The Skrull said, you are no sibling of mine.
Oh, God.
But no, they have to. That is also very important to note, though, is how much has happened in the MCU since.
Yeah.
So, and this is still grounded politic world where it's like, the last president literally started a war at the end of Secret Invasion on Skrulls. He was like, we're going to make sure we find every Skrull in America and kill them. Like, so what are we doing now?
Yeah.
We're talking with the new president, or the new about to be president. What is he going to do about it?
Yeah. Is he going to double down on it? Probably. I mean.
You think? I thought about watch Thunderbolt Ross, put it by the wayside and just be like, we'll get to it. No, about that Hulk serum that I'm about to inject into myself.
He goes, after we signed a treaty with the Skrulls, and that's it.
Oh my God. I will be livid if it is that.
Walk out of the movie.
I would be so livid. I'd be like, I need someone to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I need you to talk about it.
Eliza JV asking, will Sam get the super soldier serum?
No, he'll never take it.
He'll never take it.
He'll never take it. That entire montage of him trying to throw that shield for so long.
Oh my God.
Like he's never gonna take that super soldier serum. Especially that was like the entire part with him talking with Isaiah Bradley was like, this ruined this black man. I don't want that to ever happen to anybody else, or especially me.
Do you think instead he's just like roided up 24/7 and
100%.
it's like it's not any better?
100%. But it's different. It's a different roid. This one doesn't make you a sleeper agent. Also, I'm not trying to change the subject. I didn't know that bodybuilders just do it now. They do steroids now. Did you know that? Well, not all of them, but it's common.
But it's like
it's
a
very
thing.
Common.
Yeah,
I thought it was. I think I highly had like negative feelings about it because it was illegal in sports.
Yes, that's
so
right,
I forgot that I'm like, oh, if you're bodybuilding, I guess you could just do it. But if you're in sports, you can't. Because I was like, isn't it illegal? And everyone's like, no, Jessica, steroids are very common in like medicine too. Sorry, that was a sidebar. So maybe he is taking steroids. Maybe he's taking steroids.
Ellie Finelli asking, who do you think Ross's vice president is?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a character, because, does Ross make it out of this movie alive?
I hope not.
I mean, Harrison Ford's probably like, you guys got me for one.
He said, and I'm not running.
I'm not running.
Yeah. But I will take off my shirt.
Make the computer run.
They're like, please, Harrison, we can't. I said, make it run. That's an interesting question. Who would his vice president be?
I don't know. I mean, it could be someone that would someone who potentially would be part of S.H.I.E.L.D. or someone who, I don't know. I think there's
agent.
Sorry?
U.S. agent.
Oh yeah.
Val.
Dreyfus? Yeah. Could it be Val? Could they literally be like, this girl's doing a great job over here.
Yeah.
Why don't she just come over there?
I bet we see her in this though.
Yeah.
At the very least.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to. She's building a team that's adjacent to what Sam Wilson is.
Yeah. A lot of people asking, how do we think this ties into the Thunderbolts? I mean, it feels like it's all because it's this U.S. politicking. We're just gonna get a lot of references to what they're building, or the post-credit scene is definitely going to be
it has to
hand in hand.
Yeah. I feel like how Agatha is kind of gonna not solidify but blow out the world of magic to a degree where we're like, oh, it's not just Carmitage and Doctor Strange and Wong. There's a lot of other things. Here's a different realm of magic that we're going to. I think this is gonna kind of get us back on track with what grounded reality is in the MCU, in the politic region. Because Daredevil's gonna be like, here's a grounded reality in New York. Now that Kingpin is going for mayor, here's all the gangs that are coming out trying to claim his territories. And then we have the Thunderbolts just doing whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, give us a line of what the Thunderbolts are doing, what Secret Invasion was, how that coincides with what's going on in the politics in America and overseas.
Yeah. I mean, I don't envy this movie for having to kind of reconcile a lot of different threads right now in the MCU and with the characters involved too.
That's why I'm like, we gotta, in the most respectful way, give it, play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yeah.
It has to lift a lot of shit. Not only is it giving us a movie for a new Captain America, it's involving a lot of new characters, and it does have to solidify a lot of shit that just piece things together. And it feels like they kind of did that on purpose. They were like, oh, this movie's gonna help us get back on track after Secret Invasion. And I'm like, damn, this movie's carrying too much. And it's a movie. It doesn't have enough time.
Yeah, exactly. Unless, wait, 4 hours?
With an intermission. With a straight intermission where the screen goes black, curtains closed. They're like, go walk out around for 15 minutes.
We all go to Denny's with our elderly.
It's actually a 30.
There's an overture. It makes them all feel like.
Your ticket on the back of it has like a 10% discount. It's Arby's, Denny's, and IHOP.
Oh my god.
R.I.P. Arby's.
Lumpy292, thank you for resubbing. I guess the last thing here, something that I wanted to talk about earlier that we didn't really get to. Liv Tyler is supposed to be coming back as Betty Ross.
Is she? Is it like confirmed?
Yeah, so the Disney press release today confirmed that Liv Tyler is in the cast.
Oh shit.
That's pretty big, but part of like how Thunderbolt Ross becomes Red Hulk is that like she's dead.
She dies.
So do we think we see her in flashbacks? Do we think she's still alive? Do we think she dies in this movie?
What? The leader killed her in the comics. I think someone can look it up and double check for me. I think maybe she dies in different comics, but I do know there's one version where the leader and MODOK and their team kind of kill her. I think, and so it would make sense to be flashbacks. Yeah. We don't have a Betty Ross, right?
I mean, allegedly, it's the same. This is her. This is like
because this is the only one we have, like, right?
Like, yeah. So
she could play.
Yeah, which means like, come on, we gotta see Mark Ruffalo, right? We gotta see him come back.
Yeah, well, that's the hard part. Yeah. Not to be this person. Betty Ross as Liv Tyler with Edward Norton worked in 2003. Does Betty Ross and Mark Ruffalo look like they work? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense? It's a weird thing that movies have to do. It's when they like make their people that are dating stand next to each other and be like, do they look like they could actually date? And I'm like, I don't think I could see that. But flashbacks make sense too. Yeah. She's already dead.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's haunting him maybe, and he's like, I've got to protect my daughter and all the other daughters in America.
And every daughter needs a doll. Get them the American girl. But do you think that's kind of not cheap? Is not the right word. I will say that before I say the word cheap. Do you think it's kind of cheap that we haven't seen Thunderbolt Ross care about his daughter the entire time he's been in the MCU, and then all of a sudden it's like, my daughter's dead.
Yeah, this sudden thing. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Like, but it's also hard, like, when it's movies, and not a TV show. You don't know where the stories are going, right? Like, it's a wild thing that they managed to connect like more than 10 years of movies, right? In the Infinity Saga. So now as we move to the multiverse saga, it's like, we're gonna have to like drop a little couple things.
It's gonna be Miss Minutes in that time book that we have.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, "Whoa, wow, spill coffee on this." Here's Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
I love that. I loved Liv Tyler as Betty Ross. I love Betty Ross in the 2003 movie. I am very excited. I didn't know it was confirmed. I thought it was a rumor.
Yeah.
I wanted a full-fledged comeback. She's maybe working in Tiamat's head as like a scientist or something, working for her dad. Cool. Maybe she dies in the movie.
Yeah.
But I could also see her coming back as flashbacks. That's hard. Right. I could easily see them just making her flashbacks.
Yeah. Last few questions as we wrap this up. Zerstrix asking, do you think this will tie into the multiverse, or do you think this is more separate?
Nah.
Multiverse too much, right? A little too much for this one.
I think they're pulling away a little bit. Yeah. They're like, multiverse is now for the X-Men. Yeah. X-Men can figure it out.
Yeah, we'll keep it pretty grounded until Avengers.
Which they said the Brad Winderman. That was John farting. Every time we get a sub, John farts.
Nerd Queen, thanks for making John fart.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Usually. Wait, do you really need to?
No, I was making fun of you from an off-stream thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
Good callback.
He says that I fart, and I don't. That's what the off-screen thing was.
Yeah.
John said I did, and I didn't. But it was the chair. Regardless, it was a duck.
It was a duck.
The duck that's in the office all the time?
Yeah, the office duck.
The office duck? It was actually Hank. Multiverse.
Yeah.
No, I think they're staying grounded. I think that Brad Winderbaum did mention how, like, with Echo and Daredevil, they're trying to stay grounded. And I do think they're trying to get back to exploring and blowing out those worlds of, like, it's also cheaper to do it that way. They're like, we'd rather just deal with keeping things on the ground for right now.
Yeah.
No flying people.
100%. And it's also like when you open up the whether it's time travel or multiverse, when you open up that accessibility, then anything is possible, which is both exciting, but it's also like a little hard from a storytelling perspective, because it's like, oh, but couldn't they just do this, pull something in and go somewhere else, something like that.
I'm also so sure that the people in politics in America and the MCU don't understand the multiverse. So, and this is very focused on the president and the government, and I'm like, I know for a fact they probably are like, that's not us.
Yeah.
We just know war and money.
Like, there's multiple universes? This is already multiple countries.
So, who am I?
Yeah.
What do I look like in a different time?
Do I look cooler? Taller?
Yeah. Did I get the love of my life? Or am I with the woman I'm with today? That's so funny. That would be me. That would hella be. And that's how I think, honestly, Thunderbolt Ross would act. He'd be like, wait, so there's a universe where I could get my daughter back?
Yeah, he pulls a Kingpin.
Oh my fucking
He's like, I gotta make a collider in New York.
Yeah, I gotta build a collider. That's already been done. That's already been done.
They did it. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
All right, and Ellie Finelli asking if Harrison Ford gets to say one of his famous lines, which is most likely? Ooh.
One of his Indiana Jones lines?
Yeah,
gonna need a bigger boat.
I wonder if they...
A classic.
Is that not Indy? Why?
I think the shark says that.
No, Jessica, the shark says it's so funny. Someone should make that as a drawing.
No, the shark is the name of the doctor.
No, yeah.
Your show is so stupid.
I feel so bad for everybody who came here to talk. Listen to us talk about Captain America.
We have been talking about Captain America. We've also been talking about farts and old people, which honestly go hand in hand. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, void between saying she loved you, I know. I think that I know is a great contender.
I know. You want fighting words? Fighting words? Yeah. I hated that scene.
Oh no!
Who doesn't hate that scene? That I know. I was like, shake him. Shake him before he dies. Shake him.
Put him in the thing.
I remember being so scolded as a child, and then when I saw people like wearing shirts where it would be like the woman being like, "I love you," and then him being like, "I know."
Yeah.
I was like, take that shirt off. Rip it apart.
So one of the like random people in the Oval Office just goes, "Oh my God, it's like you're some sort of Red Hulk." He just goes, "I know."
What else? Didn't he say something stupid in that one movie?
I also think they might reference the Avengers, like the classic line, like, "That's my secret cap. I'm always angry."
Oh,
like there might be something there, you know.
They might put a piercing in his ear like he normally has.
Okay, yeah.
Harrison Ford might go crazy. He might smoke a blunt.
Specifically a blunt.
Look, my first mission as president. He goes. This is how he lights up a blunt like it's a bong. No, it's gonna be that, and it's gonna be that like how they get their moniker, how they get their name. He's gonna be like, "I'm Red Hulk." And it's gonna be.
Savvy 389 saying rolling a fatty with Red Hulk. Yeah,
that's not a dream blunt rotation. I'll tell you that much. Red Hulk is angry 24/7. His whole reason to be the Red Hulk is because he's angry. He's a normal human that's like, I'm not angry enough.
I'm not angry enough.
Shoot me up with the roids.
Yeah, I don't smoke. It just makes me too calm.
Yeah, it makes me too calm, and I like being crazy as hell.
All right, so that's it for us today. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave a comment. I'm sure we'll talk more about this teaser trailer on Monday for the headline show and whatever else comes out with some SDCC stuff and all that. Jessica, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yeah, I love Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
I love Isaiah Bradley. That was one of my favorite parts that came out of that show. Mm-hmm. Also, greatest actor on earth, possibly. No. He's great though. He did a great job. I'm very excited to see where this goes. I only want to reiterate. Let's play a little devil's advocate for this one. This movie has to upload. It has to hold a lot. It's carrying a lot on its back. And I don't say that a lot for MCU movies, but I'm like, if it turns out to be a lot of stuff, they had to do a lot of stuff. Yeah. So give it a little slack. Just a little slack. Give it a little cake.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a bigger blunt.